Hi, my name is Zaya, and I'm going to show you how to use household items as yoga props. Yoga blocks. They help us reach the floor when we otherwise can't. So you can put them on a nice tall setting or bring them really low down. They also are great for sitting on, and they're great for laying on top of. If we want to put them on our back, we can lie back, open the chest. It's really nice. So for sitting and lying down, you can stack up a bunch of books and try to find something about this size. For reaching the floor, go ahead and go through your cupboards and find a good size can or jar of food. My wife wants me to make a public service announcement that cans are safer than jars because glass can break. Okay, so personally, a small jar for me feels a little too low to replicate the block on the medium setting, which is the setting I like to use. So I like these tomato sauce jars because they sort of replicate that height, but the regular canned food replicates this height. So you can find the size that works for you. Yoga blankets. They're not huge, but they're thick. They have a really heavy weave and they don't compress down a lot. So if you were to roll them up to make bolsters to lie over and you put pressure down, they don't flatten to the ground. So you do not want something like a nice, sweet, fluffy blanket. This is nice for putting over you for warmth, but not really for support. So instead, grab a blanket with a heavier weave, like a wool blanket, or take a couple of beach towels or bath towels and layer them. So just layer them on top of each other and then fold them up, and it'll be like a nice, thick blanket that way. In our yoga practice, we use these nice thick bolsters. They don't compress down a lot. They support us when we lie down. They're a little bit hard to replicate, but I would just say gather a couple different size cushions from around the house. So your bed pillow will be really good to replicate this length of a bolster, but they kind of are squishy. And so you might need two so that when you lay down on them, they stay nice and thick. And then smaller pillows like this are nice for propping up smaller body parts. So little props like that. Sometimes we use yoga straps. These are really nice webbing material. They don't have any stretch in them, and they help us reach things that otherwise feel impossible to reach, like our foot. They also help us with range of motion exercises, all kinds of things. You can get creative with these straps. So an alternative is to find a scarf that doesn't have any stretch in it. Make sure it's nice and long. A belt could work, but it depends on your size. Belts tend to be a little bit short. We usually want them to be pretty long. And so maybe a bathrobe belt would be better. If you have any suggestions of your own, then leave them in the comments so that we can, as a community, generate lots of ideas of how to support our practice using household items.